Good morning, it's Thursday. You know what that means. It's Rod Run, and the classic cars are everywhere, and that means some slowdowns and heavy traffic almost anywhere in the Smoky Mountains, but especially in Pigeon Forge. So the official event underway at LeConte Center, but of course we'll be parading those cars all around. Now, especially on Friday and Saturday night, you'll find things gridlocked on the parkway. So be sure to plan an alternate route if you're not coming to the Rod Run. And if you are coming to Rod Run, of course, plan on some patience and slowdowns. But if you're a veteran of Rod Run, you know about that already. Now let's see what Kira and Savannah are up to.
Good morning, it's Kira with Morning in the Mountains, and today we are at Beyond the Lens Family Fun, and I'm here with John, the marketing manager.
Hi, good morning, glad to have you here.
Good morning, I'm glad to be here. So Beyond the Lens, it's a pop culture type of museum, and you can find out all kinds of things. You can even find Bigfoot in there.
Exactly, yes, that's exactly right. And we're also very interactive. We got a lot of fun exhibits, very hands-on, and you get to use your smartphone here. Now, a lot of people ask us about what our name really means. And as you see right here, as you walk into the museum, there's a giant camera that you walk through. So the stuff that we're going to be showing you is neat stuff. So we want you, as soon as you get here, you walk through the camera and you go beyond the lens. Get it? Beyond the lens.
That is so clever. I had no idea that's what that meant.
That's right. That's exactly it. Yep.
Wow. So if you all want to come see this place, come on down here because this place is really cool. They've got all kinds of things going on inside. It's interactive, like you said, and come and give them a check out. Now back to you, Frank.
Another morning has dawned in the Smoky Mountains, which is why we call the show Morning in the Mountains. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy here with Brad Lovett. We love talking about all of the fun activities in and around the Smokies in East Tennessee. And there's so much stuff going on. Yesterday you teased us a little bit that we had Dolly Parton news, and every time there's Dolly to talk about, that's, you know, it's a major story.
Well, there is always Dolly Parton news. She's hosting the CMAs, I believe, this year.
There you go.
And
she's on fire.
But we're going to have Dolly Parton versus Patsy Cline versus Loretta Lynn. Now that's happening at Pretentious Beer.
They're not going to be
in Knoxville.
There themselves.
No, definitely not going to be there themselves. It's an all-star, all-woman cast of Knoxville music scene players that come together for one amazing night of music to pay tribute to these legends.
That's good.
And they say it's going to be one for the ages. And these versus shows have been super fun for the folks. That is going to be tonight, yes. No, it's going to be actually tomorrow, on the 13th. So
Friday,
you'll want to make plans to be there. And the house band is an all-woman supergroup featuring Ivy Andis on fiddle, Laurel Brisson on drums, Kelsey Walker on guitar. And you've been working 9 to 5, so go see the show. That's tomorrow night on South Central. That's Pretentious Beer Company.
That's in the Old City.
That's the Old City.
Yeah, it's not far from, well, I know that street pretty well. It's, yeah, that's a good place to go see shows. They got a lot of breweries now down in that area, great restaurants. So yeah, cool. Dolly versus Loretta versus Patsy. I saw a picture of some actresses, like I've seen from Broadway, like Megan Hilty and somebody else doing a Loretta versus Patsy Cline bit. I wonder, this is obviously different, but I guess they're kind of like hot right now.
Right.
These classic country women. Interesting.
Sounds like it's going to be a good time down there. And Tennessee Valley Fair still going on, and tonight it's Riley Green at 8 o'clock.
He, I believe, is an up-and-coming country artist. I am not a huge country music expert by any means, but I think he was maybe an opening act last year, and now his career is on the rise, so they have him as a headliner this year.
I see. Also, hypnotist Chris Mabry and Sam Hatmaker will be performing.
No, Sam Hatmaker's not the hypnotist. She just goes and makes hats.
I think she sings, actually.
Oh, okay.
But she'll be at the Pepsi tent tonight there.
Oh, she's not related to Mike Hatmaker of that Dodge dealership, is she? That's a joke.
Would have no idea.
How would you know? But have you ever been hypnotized?
No.
Okay, my wife was hypnotized in college one time, and she apparently is susceptible to it. Because we've been at events where we've been in the audience, and I'm looking over at her, and she's slumped over with her hand in the air, and we're not even, and we're in the audience. But one time I made her go up on stage at the Tennessee Valley Fair for one of these hypnotic guys, and so she did fall right under, and she felt very arrested afterward. Thankfully, they didn't pick her from they had 15 people up there, so they pick like 2 and make them do the really most ridiculous, embarrassing things. But usually they pick the younger folk who, probably I don't know who they pick, but they didn't pick my wife. She just got to sleep.
Okay.
So I mean, she missed the whole show.
Okay, well,
It
that's
was, free, I guess.
that's interesting.
Free with fair admission.
Well, a lot of people are moving to Gatlinburg, and maybe if you're in Ohio or Alabama or somewhere you're thinking about moving to Gatlinburg, well,
Hey, no income tax.
that's true. Now, who else is moving to Gatlinburg? That's the Penguins from Zoo Knoxville. They should be settling in by now, I
The
think.
Penguins make a lot of noise. I got to meet them. The first year we did the Gatlinburg Improv Fest, we had some of the improv workshops at Ripley's. And Chuck Winstead and the guys, they thought it'd be funny to interrupt the class and bring the Penguins through.
Uh-huh.
So it was really awesome because we were up close and personal. The Penguins are just waddling around as we're trying to do improv. And I think one of them tried to nip at Dave Fennell, but that's his fault, not the Penguins' fault, because he taunted the Penguin. But
Never taunt the Penguins.
and one of these improv groups, the kids from Lee University, decided to make the Penguin their mascot that day, and they've now, all these years later, 10 years later, they still use the Penguin as their improv troupe mascot because of the ones at Ripley's. So it's a beautiful Penguin facility. So the Zoo Knoxville, I'm sorry, I'm getting off on this tangent about how great Ripley's Penguins are, but that's why Zoo Knoxville is entrusting their 4 Penguins to go with the 20-some that are over at Ripley's.
And I'm sure they'll be getting a warm welcome over there.
I hope not. Oh wait, these are these are warm weather penguins.
A cold welcome, yes.
I was worried, because you don't want to give a penguin a warm welcome if he's from Antarctica. But these are the South African penguins. They're used to it. They don't like it super cold.
Right.
Yeah, they're fine in room temperature.
I've seen
They
penguins.
are room temperature, not their room temperature.
Right. I've seen penguins at another zoo, and those must have been the cold weather. They had kind of an ice thing,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they were.
Like I always enjoy, remember the March of the Penguins or whatever that one was about the Emperor Penguins. Just with Morgan Freeman, and the penguins are just walking single file because what else have they got to do? To get to the sea. Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's going to be a great time for you to visit Ripley's Aquarium at the Smokies. And that move of the penguins is being made because of a construction project at Zoo Knoxville. And no word on whether the birds will eventually move back, or they may just be so comfortable there.
Yeah.
They'll have the TV remote there at Ripley's, and they'll be fine.
Awesome. It'll be a couple. This project that they're doing at Zoo Knoxville, the construction project, is going to be massive. I mean, it's millions and millions of dollars, and it's a new reptile facility. Reptile amphibian something. It's got an initial name that's got an R and an A in it, whatever it is, but it's going to be spectacular. And Zoo Knoxville's reptile breeding program is well known, as is Ripley's penguin breeding program. So it kind of makes sense.
It
Send
certainly
the
does.
penguins to Ripley's and keep the reptiles at Zoo Knoxville.
Alrighty. Well, we do have some tickets for you to have some fun in the Smoky Mountains.
Oh, great stuff we've got. In fact, I ask about all of the fun attractions in and around the Smokies when you talk to our concierge, our live phone operators at 865-978-1152. They'll help you plan your vacation, whether you want to go zip-lining or see a comedy show, see our friend Travis doing the Conway Twitty show. He does an Elvis. He's got another guy there who does an Elvis. I wonder, we got to go over and talk. He's right next door. You should go talk to him about getting some kind of one of those Dolly versus Loretta. Who was it? And
Patsy Cline.
That I would like to see a Patsy Cline show. I would probably have that at one of these other theaters around town. But my wife loves Patsy Cline, so I could take her to something like that. Anyway, all right, I'm getting off on another tangent, but do call 865-978-1152. Tell them what you like, and they'll find something for you. We'll be back with more of Morning in the Mountains coming right up on the Mountain Fun Life channel. And one of the great things we can offer you on Mountain Fun Life is discounts on tickets to some of the fantastic attractions that are all throughout the Smoky Mountains and East Tennessee. Well, all you have to do is give a call to Mountain Fun Life's Best Deals at 865-978-1152, 865-978-1152, and save money when you and your family are visiting the Smokies.
The channel is Mountain Fun Life. The show is Morning in the Mountains. I'm Frank Murphy here with Robert Owenby, who is our connection to the mountains with a family history that goes back and predates the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Tell us more about some of the great stories of the Smokies.
Yes, and some of this was way before my own time. I had to do.
There's something before your time?
There was, yeah, good one. Yeah, good one. All right, I'll let you get away with that one. We'll move on. Yes, it was before my time, and the fun thing is it's kind of like doing detective work, going back and researching and trying
genealogy.
to find out. Like on this particular topic, the first Baptist preacher and the First Baptist Church in the Sevierville area specifically, and his name was Elder Richard Wood, thought to be the first Baptist preacher in the Sevierville area. He ministered from 1785-86 to his death in 1831. So this was a little before my time.
This is before Tennessee didn't become a state till what, 1790?
This was right.
Oh, wow.
This was before George Washington. As a matter of fact, the church that he established, I believe, was inaugurated on the same day that George Washington was inaugurated as President of the United States.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's how far back, and I don't remember that.
No.
That's a little before my time. But originally, it was called the Forks of the Forks of the Little Pigeon River Church, which was a kind of a lengthy name.
But it also tells you right where it is. It's almost like giving your address in those days. That's what you're doing. Yeah.
And so this is taking us to Main Street down in Sevierville, and they have a big, multi-million-dollar huge church there now.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
First Baptist Church. And in 1789, Elder Richard Wood married Mary Price, and he served in the Revolutionary War.
Wow.
He served in the Revolutionary War, then came back to town and began ministering, and he ministered until his death. He helped to organize several of the other Baptist churches in the area, and one in particular, the Roaring Fork Baptist Church in Gatlinburg.
And so another way of giving the address of saying it's at the Roaring Fork.
At the Roaring Fork. They had the tendency to name their congregations, meeting places, and eventually some of these didn't have a building when they began.
Oh, wow.
They would meet, as a matter of fact, this particular church built, the one in Sevierville, they built a log, probably a one-room log structure, at the forks of the Little Pigeon River, and it eventually burned. And after it burned, they had to make plans, of course, to build another one. So they had meetings, of course, during the Civil War. I don't want to leave this little tidbit out. They, in a sense, several of the churches in the area, including the Primitive Baptist Church in Cades Cove, which will be an entirely different story.
Yeah.
We'll get into that one later, but that one was involved too in disbanding during the Civil War.
Really?
Because
so many of the
they
members
were
away?
favoritive to that, and also they were favoritive to the Union in a
and technically a southern state.
Technically in a southern state, which had a tendency probably for a large majority to favor the South.
Yes.
So they disbanded, but to reorganize the church, they met in the old courthouse building, which is another iconic building we'll be discussing later. Very historic building in Sevierville Courthouse. Sevierville, that's what the mountain folk call it, not Sevierville. Sevierville. And so they met in the courthouse to reorganize this church and build a new log building. And of course, eventually, they built the building that they're in now.
Nice.
And so these are just some. As a matter of fact, the Forks of the River Church was destroyed by fire. The first one, they had some kind of a fire. I couldn't find the historical
all wood building. It's kind of common.
And they could have had a wood coal burning stove or something like
candles.
that. I don't know.
Churches have candles.
Candles could have been that. But anyway, the moral of the story is it did burn. I don't know the source of the fire, and evidently the historian that I got the information from didn't know the source of the fire. So I did not have the means of finding out.
It wasn't a lightning strike, eh?
It could have been a lightning strike, that's true. But anyway, they did meet at the Sevier County Courthouse to reorganize after the Civil War was over. They built the second one was another log structure. And then, of course, eventually They built the humongous building that is there now, a very beautiful building, which is now known as the First Baptist Church.
And this was logging country. These mountains were extensively logged, I mean stripped bare in some places, so that would make sense for log buildings to proliferate.
Yes. Most of the original churches were one room, and they were built from the logs.
Yeah,
and eventually they progressed to the framed buildings, which was steel lumber from the sawmill.
Well, when I am driving past the First Baptist Church in Sevierville on my way home today, I will take a look at that and remember this story. So
remember the story and remember the fire and the Civil War, and quickly you can go through these events that happened that brought that congregation to the point that they are at now.
That church is almost as big as the courthouse.
It's almost as, yes, it is. Probably they've added on so much.
That's true.
They have added on so much. It is huge.
So you can check that out when you're in Sevierville. It's right around it's walking distance from the Dolly statue in the Sevier County Courthouse. So do check that out. That's Robert Owenby with some history of our beloved Smoky Mountains here on Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. I'm Frank Murphy.
Happy Rod Run to you. It's that time of year as the classic cars are all in town, and we're looking to see them everywhere, slowing down traffic a little bit as well. But as we look at the weather forecast, around the attraction area, we're going to still have temperatures in the high 80s, possibly low 90s, with some cooler weather overnight and a chance of showers or thunderstorms. Of course, always a little bit cooler as you head into the higher elevation. And when will we see the first peak of fall up in those higher elevations? That's your look at the weather forecast. I'm Brad Lovett, and this is the Mountain Fun Life channel.
How do we turn moments into memories? Those moments where the right people are right beside you, and the anticipation of reaching the top makes you feel like a kid again, where the only arguments are who goes first, and trying something new never gets old. Visit us at Anakeesta, where there's magic in the mountains.
It's Denny Bear, and we are so glad to have you join us again. This is my friend Robert Owenby. How are you, Robert?
Oh, I'm fine, Denny. How are you today?
Anytime I'm in the Smokies, I am wonderful.
Sure, I think a lot of people feel that way when they come to the Smokies.
Well, I live here, but at least they came to visit, and they know they can come back anytime, huh?
Oh, yes, they sure can. We welcome everyone to come visit with us.
We have our share of storms, but I think most of the time it's pretty sunny here in Tennessee, wouldn't you say?
Yes, it is pretty sunny, and sometimes you find a shady spot that you can still look out over the valleys from the mountain and see the beautiful sunshine, the glow off of the blue hue of the mountains, and it's beautiful.
Yes, and the water is so pretty under the sunlight.
Yes, it is.
It just sparkles, doesn't it?
It does.
It helps me see the trout a little better and the fish that I want to eat.
Oh, yes, you love trout, don't you?
Yes, and blackberries, and they ripen in the sun.
Yes, they are delicious.
Well, would you sing that song with us?
Yes, it's called Sunny Tennessee. I make the little notes. I like to come out here in the wilderness, in the woods, and under the shade of the trees and look out at the sunshine and the beauty around and write down these little songs. It helps me to relax. And I hope this song will help others to relax and maybe give them the incentive to come visit us in sunny Tennessee.
Yes.
Take me back to sunny Tennessee. Let the mockingbird make fun of me for thinking I could be happy somewhere else. Not possible. I sure miss those hills and valleys, grown tired of smog and dirty alleys and cold hard concrete underneath my feet. close my eyes till I get there. Maybe do a little dreaming. I'm going where I used to stroll in the mountain shade. Impressions on my mind were made. That's what life taught me in sunny Tennessee. Yes, that's what life taught me here in sunny Tennessee.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Thank you. I'm glad you like that. I enjoy coming out here, relaxing, and taking notes. And we will be taking more notes for you and having wonderful stories from here in the Smoky Mountains. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Thank you for watching Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. Frank Murphy here with Brad Lovett, with great stuff you can do in and around the Smokies and help you make your plans for the days ahead and even the months ahead.
And of course, it's a special day because it's Rod Run Day.
Rod Run.
Rod Run. Sunday.
Well, it ends Sunday.
It ends Sunday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes, you'll have it here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the Con Center, and everywhere.
Yeah. The rods are running. They're not just parked. I mean, they'll be parked as part of the time with the hoods up and the plaques and the guy sitting on the folding chair next to it going, "Well, yeah, this is a 19 blah 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 blah," and tell you all the stuff about it and how many horsepower it's got. And but then they like to drive them around, right? Show that they still work.
So they have the official show at the LeConte Center. It's like $8,000 cash prize. I've heard on that.
Yes, and when I first heard about the LeConte Center all those years ago, I thought, how are they going to put a convention center on top of Mount LeConte? Because you have to hike all the way up there. But no, they just call it the LeConte Center.
Yes.
It's right in Pigeon Forge, right behind the island. It's very easy to drive to, actually, off Teaster Lane. It's super simple to get to. And I think you can see Mount LeConte from there, but that's about as close as, I mean, you can see Mount LeConte from pretty much anywhere if you look up. And it's a clear day. Anyway, that's where it is.
Right, it's the LeConte Center, and of course there is the lodge up on Mount LeConte.
Which is not the same thing.
Right, not the same thing at all. Love to. It's not going to probably happen in this lifetime, but I'd love to stay there just once. Pictures they post sometimes. They're like, it's a winter day and they're baking bread and muffins, and you can just about smell it and taste it. I mean, it's.
Well, we can bake bread down here.
Well, we can do that, yes.
I mean,
but just something about being way up there. Like I say, you do have to hike there.
Bread, yeah.
You do have to hike there. There's no way to get there by road. But I'm told it's booked several years in advance.
Oh, wow.
Which I wouldn't doubt in the least. And some other entertainment news in the area. We've got Chris Blue with a new single out. It's called Inside Ya, and he'll be headlining the Blount County United Way's Music Fest at the Shed in Maryville next weekend. The one-time voice winner will perform along with the Aaron Tracy Band. That event is Friday, September 20th.
Okay, right around the corner. And if you enjoy Chris on The Voice, and he's well known locally. If you're going to be visiting that weekend, go check out Chris Blue. You'll see a lot of locals showing up to see him. He got to start singing at a church in West Knoxville. I think it was the one near Cedar Bluff, but I'm not positive. And he was well known in the Bearden area, and then got, of course, famous on TV singing in The Voice, and then performed in the Smokies, like you said. You reminded me that he was the headliner at Smoky Mountain Opry. That's what it was. Thank you.
All righty. Now, if you'd like to live here for the winter, or if you live here already and want to work at Dollywood this fall or Christmas season, you want to be at the job fair. Dollywood's having a job fair this month, and next one is going to be on Saturday.
Do you think Chris Blue had to go to the job fair, or did they probably just called him?
I think they called him.
He's a headliner.
He's a headliner.
He doesn't need to go.
Yeah, he didn't have to fill out the application or anything.
Hey, what job are you applying for? Headliner.
Yes.
That's not how it works.
Next one is going to be on Saturday, September 14th, at Smoky Stadium from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So that means they're expecting a lot of people.
They're expecting a lot of people, yes. And just 4 hours to get you through the line. So they'll have another one coming up Thursday, September 19th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Severe Air on Collier Drive in Sevierville. And they've got positions anywhere from foods and merchandise teams, park operations positions, ticketing, transportation. When you drive one of those neat little trams around.
They will, obviously, you just said food and operations. They'll need people to bake the cinnamon bread. So there you go. You can just go to Dollywood and you can bake the bread, and all the other nice things that you wanted to have. Mm-hmm. They can do that. Cinnamon bread is that's well known at Dollywood, especially at the best time. I feel like people eat it all year round. I know they eat it all year round, but something about it during when you go during December, it's better. Just I don't know, because cinnamon goes with December, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I would think so. Yeah. Yes. And Tennessee Valley Fair with Riley Green tonight, up and coming country artist.
Yes, he's all right.
And then a motorcycle high wire thrill show, as always.
Yeah. All the regular stuff that happens each and every day at the Tennessee Valley Fair. tnvalleyfair.org is the website. And if you're around town, around Knoxville, look, a lot of stores have those magazine brochures that with the full fair program in them. Or you'll get those when you go to Chilhowie Park.
And we already have the first Tennessee Volunteer football game under our belts, and we have another one this weekend.
We got two under our belts by now, yeah.
Yes,
so
first two, I should say, yes.
Next one is the Mocs. The Vols are going to mock the Mocs.
Mm-hmm.
The UT Chattanooga Mocs this coming Saturday.
Right, so they'll be taking on the other University of Tennessee.
Yes, well, there's multiple. There's
yes.
UT Martin, there's UT Memphis, there's UT Chattanooga, which is fairly well known in this area. I know a lot of the high school kids, if they don't go to UT Knoxville, they might go to UT Chattanooga. So there's a lot of Mocs fans that'll show up, and we'll see if the Vols, just put their foot in it. I don't know, or what happens. But I think that's a noontime game. So if you're planning to drive through downtown Knoxville, know that there'll be traffic. From 10 till 11:30, getting into downtown. Then there's a break during the game, and then the traffic again when they leave.
That's true, and like you said before, that time during the game is a good time to get things done.
Oh, it's terrific.
Yes, it's perfect. We don't have people to
because everywhere you go, every store you go into, they're listening to the game anyway. You're not going to miss anything. Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Now, Great Smoky Mountain National Park wants to remind you that if you're traveling to the area in this winter, Cades Cove will be closed.
For 2 months.
2 months.
I remember this from earlier today. You told us 2 months, it's closed, but it's January, February, so I think they picked the best 2 months to close it.
That's true.
Except for the poor guys who have to repair the tunnel, because that's cold,
That's cold work.
I guess that's the bit, you always have to do the work when it's the most convenient for everyone else.
Sure,
yeah.
That's true. And also there'll be a closure over in the Cataloochee area. The main access road to Cataloochee will close. So crews from NCDOT, that doesn't quite work like TDOT, North Carolina Department of Transportation can make repairs on a slide just outside the park along the county road. There'll be some access, but it's on a winding road, and you have to decide if you want to take that in the wintertime or not.
Yeah, so just, you can plan your trip accordingly and avoid that area as well. With still plenty of other things to do, you'll be all right.
Right.
You'll find a way around it. All right. Well, speaking of planning your things to do, our Mountain Fun Life Best Deals does exactly that. We've got live operators standing by at 865-978-1152 to help you with your Mountain Fun Life Best Deals, the concierge service to help you think about what it is you enjoy and let us find a discount for you doing something that you want to do rather than something that we tell you got to go do. So that's the way it works. Mountain Fun Life Best Deals. We'll be back with more on Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. Thanks again for liking, sharing, and telling everybody you know about Mountain Fun Life and the Morning in the Mountains program. Brad Lovett here with Frank Murphy. That wraps another day for today, but we're getting ready for it's Friday Eve. Mm-hmm. And it's not just Friday Eve, it's Friday the 13th Eve. You done anything for Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th, I'm not all that superstitious, really.
I'm not either.
But of course, we'll be.
Except that I want to wear the same microphone every day. That's really that's about as superstitious as I get. Because we got this four of them around here.
Well, we'll be here. I'll be at my other job, and so will you. But there's some haunted things you could do even on Friday the 13th. We'll talk about some of that tomorrow.
A lot of the Halloween attractions in East Tennessee will open up every time there's a Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm. Actually, they've started opening up on every holiday because they want to make more money.
Certainly.
Oh, it's Spooky Valentine's Day. I'm like, that's not scary. Oh, it's Spooky 4th of July. No, that's inappropriate. But that doesn't matter. But definitely for Friday the 13th, you'll be able to find some haunted house or some kind of thing as they warm up for the Halloween season. All right, cool. We'll check back with us tomorrow again. We're on each weekday at this time, and you can, of course, find the archived episodes when you click around on your Roku or scroll down on your Facebook or scroll down on your YouTube. We're all there, and we'd love it when you do like it, share it, and spread the word. Thanks for watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. Talk to you tomorrow.